So I've often wondered and asked myself, why do I keep coming back to Destiny even though I know it's starting to get a little stale and boring? And what's up, guys? This is Kalzain back with another video, and today I want to be talking about Destiny and the things I hope that Destiny 2 will improve upon over its, original. So, Destiny's been a great experience overall. I've really enjoyed it, but it's gotten to a point to where it's too long between content updates, and the content updates just don't have enough in them to really satisfy what I'm looking for in the game. And especially when it comes to in terms of like exotic weapon drops or just weapon drops in general and what they roll with. Now, I think that it's gotten a lot better in year 2 and definitely in year 3 I've been able to actually feel like my time is worth something on there, like I'm actually getting something in return for sticking it out and playing so regularly. But it's still gotten to a point to where I get on there a lot of times. I'm getting frustrated in the Crucible because of a lot of different unbalancing issues, and even the rebalances and stuff kind of help that. But overall, there's just not enough to do in my aspect. I used to play a lot of PvE, especially doing like all the heroic strikes and things like that. But lately, I've done them so many times that it's gotten stale and just boring and repetitive. And the same with the Crucible. I played the same game matches over and over and over again. I've got a lot of the guns I want, and I just don't know why I keep doing it over and over. Now, I know that Age of Triumph is just around the corner, and while that does seem like it brings a lot of new content to the table in terms of new gear and stuff like that, it's just rehashing old content, and for me, I don't really do the raids anyway. So, raid gear and new versions of old raids really don't appeal to me all that much, and as far as like the new strikes and stuff go, I never really did the Nightfall strikes anyway, so again, that's something that doesn't really appeal to me. So I guess what I'm looking at is not what's coming up with Age of Triumph, but what's going to be coming up with Destiny 2. And I want to talk about some of the things I would like to see happen with Destiny 2. So for starters, I want for the Crucible, I think it'd be really cool if they add some new game modes, like maybe a capture the flag mode, something a little bit different than Rift. I'm not a big fan of Rift. I just don't like the way it's set up, and I just don't enjoy it. So maybe a cool capture the flag one would be pretty cool. I definitely think Supremacy was a good game mode to add, so a lot of things like that I'd like to see roll over. In terms of PvE, I would like to see more of a point to exploration, especially doing patrols. Maybe more locations, maybe a variety of enemies. I mean, having a bunch of different types of aliens that just shoot at you, that's neat, and it does hit the first person shooter aspect of the game. But I'd like to see maybe some wildlife or some other types of creatures to battle. I think that would really enhance what the open world aspect has to offer. And I would like to see a little bit more of a variety in the strikes, maybe regular changes or tweaks or things that don't always go the same every single time. Maybe something happens and it's just slightly different. Some of those kind of things. But I'd like to see maybe the PvE be a little bit stronger and not quite so repetitive. And I'd like to see the Crucible be at a point where it feels fun, it feels engaging. It's not the same game modes over and over again. It's not the same handful of weapons everyone's using, and not, the same guns. For a long time, it was just the last word and a sniper rifle. Now you got No Land Beyonds and sidearms. And while that does change it up a little bit, and I think that the Crucible's in a better state than it has been in a while, I still don't think it's quite balanced enough to really be that engaging. And to me, that's a big downside because I was never a PvP person before I started playing Destiny, and I've really enjoyed the PvP aspect of it. So I'd really like to see the Crucible gain that strength. Now, I do think that it is a good thing that Bungie is not carrying over everything into Destiny 2, that your Guardian's the only thing going over, because I want to see a new batch of weapons, just completely new, and see everyone start off from scratch on the same level and just be on par with everyone for a time. I quit playing after year 1, so for me, I was always behind even when I jumped into the Taken King. And even though the Taken King was set up very well and Rise of Iron carried over a lot of those good parts, I still was behind the whole way through it. So I would like to see, I'm really looking forward to being able to start out from scratch and play it and be able to keep up with everyone. I've got a lot of busy stuff going on in my personal life, so I don't have as much time to do the raids, to do the strikes, to do the nightfalls, and stuff like that. So I'd like to see, the biggest thing I'd like to see is being able to get all of the types of gear that you want without having to necessarily do all these team oriented um, end game activities. And the other big thing I would like to see is maybe add like matchmaking for raids. Now, I know that the reason why they haven't had it in the past is due to partly because of people leaving strikes the way they do and bailing on teams and not having microphones. So I understand why raid matchmaking is not in the game currently. But I think maybe there's a way for them to implement a raid matchmaking to where it requires you to have a microphone and to penalizes people for, leaving PvP matches, leaving strikes, and leaving raids. I think that it should penalize you for bailing on a team because that does put the whole team in a strain with being a short one or maybe several members. So, anyway, this video was to talk about what I would like to see in Destiny 2. And if you're watching the gameplay in the background, I've been away from Destiny for quite some time. I quit playing for quite a while, shortly after after Rise of Iron came out. So my gameplay is definitely a little bit rusty, and I'm playing on a different TV than I was before, and it's a lot bigger, so I'm trying to get used to that. So bear with me on that. I'm usually not quite that bad, but I'm going to be open and honest. I am not the best. I'm not like N-Cooch or any of these, PvP pros on here. I have my good days and bad days, and right now I'm struggling to get back in the swing of it because I haven't played it in so long. So remember, if you guys like this content, go ahead and hit that like button below and share with a friend if you have anyone that you think would be interested in this kind of stuff. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you turn the notifications on so you can stay up to date with all the content we're going to be running on this channel. All right, thanks guys, you're awesome, and I'll talk to you next time.